Hi there everybody, this is David, and we just had two amazing game showcases that kind of happened right on top of one another. There was the Sony State of Play showcase, and then at the exact same time, there was a Marvelous showcase, going over all their games. Marvelous is the company that releases games like Story of Seasons or Harvest Moon, Rune Factory, and a bunch of other kind of esoteric RPGs out there. And I ended up watching the Marvelous showcase, then I went back and I watched the Sony State of Play. So here I want to talk about all the great RPGs that were announced during both of these showcases right here. Starting with the Marvelous showcase. We got some more information on Project Magica, which they talked about last year. It now has a new title. It's called Farmagica, and it's releasing sometime this year. It focuses on a lot of different heroes here, but they went over 4 particular heroes. There's Ten, he's the main character, and he's bold, honest, and quick to act. Arch is his childhood friend, and she's competitive but kind, and she has huge knockers. Then there's Chica, who's also his childhood friend, who also has big boobs, but she wears glasses, so she's the nerdy one, and she's very much reserved. Then there's Looky Loo, the mascot, and he's just there to crack jokes and stuff. The artist is the designer behind the fairy tale anime. That's why it looks so beautiful. And the storyline's going to play out from both the protagonists as well as the villain's point of view, with some themes of a brave new world and people and monsters both working together. Story of Seasons is the next game on the docket. This was also known as Harvest Moon back in the day, and it's celebrating its 28th anniversary. There's a brand new game coming out. It doesn't have a release date yet. We don't even know the title of it yet, but it does look pretty freaking good. And there's a reason for that. They specifically stated that they really wanted to up the ante as far as the graphical style is concerned, as well as focusing on the joys of farm life. So there's a lot of extra effort that did go into the natural environments, the animals, the plants, all that kind of stuff. And it says that it's supposed to help you experience nature and the delights of the 4 seasons, and it even gives you a glider to glide around on, so that's kind of cool. Then they went into 3 different indie titles. Who knew that Marvelous dealt in indie games? I didn't, but here we go. First up was Bow, Path of the Teal Lotus. This is a 2.5D platformer focusing on yokai and Japanese folklore and stuff like that, and platforming and jumping around. Looks pretty fun. Then there's Death the Guitar. Yeah, I know. That's also a 2D action platformer, but you use the guitar, like music and stuff, to destroy your enemies. That one there is coming out in 2025. Oh, also, Bow Path of the Teal Lotus, they didn't give a Western release date. They gave a Japanese and Asian release date, but not a Western release date. So I don't know if we're going to get that one or not. We're just going to have to stay tuned for that. Then there's Moonlight Peaks, which they announced a couple of weeks ago, because I remember going over that in New RPG News, and that is kind of a Story of Seasons Harvest Moon knockoff, but you actually play as the child of Dracula, and you date and farm and all that kind of stuff like you would in Harvest Moon, but, at nighttime because you're a vampire. Then they went into a new Rune Factory game, which is celebrating its 18th anniversary, so it's 10 years behind Harvest Moon Story of Seasons. And we learned a little bit about this game last year, but they went much more in depth into it this time. This is called Project Dragon. It is very Eastern inspired, and you can choose between a boy or a girl protagonist, both with horrible X hair. That horrible X hair that we keep on seeing now in Saga Emerald Beyond with Cygnus, and also over in Fire Emblem and things like that. It's this hair that will not die. It is still here. I cannot stand it. So anyway, they introduced a lot of different weapons, from talismans and swords and parasols and magic and drums and bows and all that kind of stuff. But rather than saving the world through earth and stuff like that and farming, you save the world with the power of dance. Yeah! So, just kind of different there. Then they said that they were going to end their showcase with a bang! So they showed nothing. Yeah. They gave us a CGI trailer of Demon X Machina, Titanic Scion, and it basically just showed a wasteland, and that was it? Didn't give any new information, didn't give any kind of release dates for it, didn't show any gameplay whatsoever, so that was kind of a letdown. So that's really much it for the Marvelous Showcase, but now I want to talk about the Sony State of Play. There were 2 games there that really caught my eye, that caught my attention, that I thought, hey, this looks really neat, I want to talk about these, I want to go on about them. The first one was Dynasty Warrior Origins. This, again, is very Eastern-inspired. It is yet another game in the long-running Dynasty Warrior series. I believe it's the 10th game, actually, in the Dynasty Warrior series. It's releasing sometime next year in 2025, and it's supposed to tell, of course, the origin story of the Dynasty Warriors franchise, because it's Dynasty Warrior Origins. Just makes sense to me. And then the last one is Infinity Nikki. And whenever I first saw this, I was like, what is this? Like, you've got to be kidding me. Is this like a Barbie dress-up game or something? But the more I looked at it, the more I was like, oh, this is actually kind of cool. It's beautiful. To me, it looks Korean-inspired. Like, the artwork, it just looks Korean to me. I don't know if that's the case. I'm just saying, very off the cuff. I just think that it looks that way. But it's like an open-world, princessy, dress-up platformer sort of game. But I looked into it, and the producer of the Zelda series, I know, the Zelda series is actually behind this game, and it looks like a lot of fun. I'm definitely going to have to check this out, maybe even give y'all an early preview of it or something. And it says that it's playtesting this Q3 of 2024, so sometime this fall of this year, we'll be able to get our hands on Infinity Nikki. So that's it for the games from both of the showcases. There's a lot there to digest. I don't want to go through both of them and just give you my just my honest opinion, give you like a brief overview of what's going on with these games. So tell me what you thought about both the Marvelous Showcase and the Sony State of Play. Tell me what games you're most interested in, and as always, have a good day.